Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your second co-chair for the evening, Matthew Cooper, General Counsel for Capital One Financial Corporation.
Thank you very much. My name is Matt Cooper. I'm the General Counsel of Capital One. I'm very honored to be the co-chair for tonight's dinner, along with Amy Weaver at Salesforce. Amy, those were fantastic remarks, and thank you for your leadership at Salesforce in so many issues of social responsibility, and it really shows with your pro bono program. Congratulations to Goodwin for winning the Pickering Award, very well deserved. And Gary, thank you so much for your inspiring story and the great work you're doing with Shatterproof. I also want to thank the PBI for the work they do in bringing us all together. Eve Runyon and her team do a great job of bringing champions of pro bono together and supporting our efforts. Like all of you, the 350 attorneys and legal specialists of Capital One believe in the transformative power of pro bono work, transformative for our clients and transformative for our communities. The current version of our program was launched in 2011 when Steve Otero joined us as our head of litigation from Troutman Sanders, where he had been a leader in this area. And I'm so proud, Steve, of the work you've done and the work of your colleagues on your committee, and I'm here to tell your story, and I'm very proud to tell that story. The first thing that Steve and his team did was work with the legal aid societies of Virginia and ask them what they needed to be successful. And they said they had problems managing their caseload, finding attorneys that were matched up with their clients. And so we went back to our tech leaders at Capital One and worked with our technologists at Capital One and partnered to build a portal that would be both a case management system for Virginia legal aid societies, as well as using matching logic so that volunteer attorneys from law firms and corporate in-house legal departments could sign up on the portal, list their area of expertise, list their availability, and be matched with clients. Since the launch of Justice Server, more than 100,000 clients have been served through this system, with 1,200 volunteer attorneys at law firms and corporate legal departments. Earlier this year, thank you. And that's just in Virginia. Earlier this year, we launched version 2.0 of Justice Server to be accessible nationwide, and other states are signing up for this portal. And Amy, you'll be glad to know that it is all built on Salesforce technology. Another area we've been very active in this year is with immigration and asylum seekers, including in family separation cases. These are very important cases for our clients, and we spend long hours briefing them and arguing them, including arguing in the U.S. District Courts and the U.S. Courts of Appeal, which of course is unusual for in-house lawyers. We win some of those cases, and we've lost some of those cases, but we're very proud to provide legal representation to humans in need of representation, no matter their citizenship. Thank you. One other area I'd like to highlight is an area that I've personally been involved with called Drive to Work, where we have helped more than 1,600 low-income and previously incarcerated individuals restore their driving privileges. We've seen in our communities too often local governments and courts being a negative force in the cycle of poverty by overly imposing fines for minor infractions on people who can't afford them, imposing court costs when they don't show up at court, and then revoking their driver's license, making it hard for them to go to a job to pay the fine. And the cycle continues. And so we've been very pleased to restore driving privileges for 1,600 people to help break that cycle. This leads me to a plea I'd like to make to all of us as pro bono attorneys about the systemic role that we play in our society with pro bono work. You know, law is a unique discipline, and lawyers play a unique role in our human rights-based society. Medicine works whether you believe it works or not. Technology works whether you believe it works or not. But law only works if you believe it works. And too often, people believe it doesn't work for them. 70% of low-income people have a legal need at least once a year needing legal representation, and only 10% of them get it. And this group, and through more pro bono efforts, we can help close that justice gap and maintain the credibility of the legitimacy of the legal system, which is very important in a rule of law society. You know, our competing system is one of might makes right, which I think we underestimate where that could go. In our system, when a judge says to someone to pay, they often pay. When they tell a parent to share custody, they often share. When a jury acquits a criminal suspect, we do not see vigilante justice in the street because people believe in the rule of law, but we need to maintain access to justice to maintain that credibility. A related thing I'd like to discuss, which I know is not our topic for this evening, is the underrepresentation of groups in our profession, especially people of color. 30% of the United States are Black and Hispanic, only 7% of attorneys are Black and Hispanic, and that gap is growing. I think we face a legitimacy problem with the legal system when judges and attorneys do not reflect the communities that they serve. And so I ask all of us to work to expand representation in the legal profession, as we also work to expand the access to justice for those that have been historically excluded. So thank you. Thank you very much for participating in tonight's event, and thank you for all that you do to support pro bono. I'm now going to introduce Mike O'Connor, General Counsel of MassMutual. Mike.